He responded that I didn't know what I was talking about. I left after that because I just didn't have the energy to try and convince him, and I didn't want to further agitate him. When I told my dad everything, he was furious. Apparently when my fiancé spoke to him about proposing, he did not ask permission. Both my dad and I are opposed to that tradition. Just basically letting my dad know his plans. My dad asked him if he was okay never having kids as I'd had my tubes removed. My dad says he specifically brought up my surgery and the impossibility of natural pregnancy. My fiancé told my dad that it'd always be my decision. I'm thankful this happened before we started any of the wedding planning, but it feels like I swallowed a boulder. I know I need to be more adamant in the future about my stance on kids, and I promise I will have these discussions with future partners openly and from the start. I blocked his family from messaging me after they added me to a group message and started throwing Bible verses at me and saying that I'm a defective woman for not wanting kids. I don't have the energy right now to be petty, so I just blocked them. My dad is going to help me move my stuff the next couple of days. I need to talk to the landlord and figure out the lease. I'm financially stable enough to pay most of the fees I think, but I doubt my now ex-fiancé can afford the rent on his own. The only text I've received from him just said, "You'll regret this." I don't believe this is meant as a threat, but I'm being cautious just in case. Thank you all for the feedback. It was helpful to understand where I went wrong. This was my first long-term relationship and I fucked up a lot of the communication, but I know it's not just on me. I tend to be the kind of person that doesn't like to rehash things if I feel like we're on the same page, but with huge decisions like this reiterating is necessary, and people are allowed to change their minds, which means rehashing is necessary in a healthy relationship. Final update. Hi, so I completely forgot about this account until recently and figured I'd give an update since the story got both crazier and then a bit anticlimactic, and a few people have asked. I'm going to give fake names so it's easier. Ex-fiancé is Josh. His sister will be Jill. Moving out was pretty easy. Josh wasn't around, but I did find a few of my things in odd places that I suspect was intentional to make me leave them behind. It was quiet for about a week, but then I got called into an impromptu work meeting. My company is fairly small, and I'm in the upper level of the admin team, so it's not totally uncommon to get meetings with the two owners, a married couple. When I logged on, it turned out to be a coaching convo to address my use of company resources for personal matters. Apparently Jill had found the company phone number and had been calling the number attempting to get through to me or my supervisor, but the third-party company we used to manage that phone number didn't have my contact, or even really know who I was, because my position isn't client-facing. I'm usually pretty good under pressure, but I really didn't want to lose my job, so I ended up crying and spilling the whole story to my bosses. Turns out they're both intentionally child-free as well and were incredibly supportive. One of them is retired Navy, and he asked multiple times if he should pay them a personal visit, but his wife just rolled her eyes and told him that would be Plan X after all the others failed, lol. Long story short, I ended up finding an attorney who helped me navigate a protective order. Jill didn't handle this well and tried to sue me for damages with Josh and their mom. It took a year to actually make it to court and, to no one's surprise, the suit was dismissed. The judge was very displeased by the waste of court resources. I was granted a restraining order for Josh, Jill, and their mom after I presented the evidence of harassment as well as a notarized statement from my company. We also had recordings from the company phone calls, but the judge didn't need them apparently. I blocked all of them and have no idea what's happening with them now, but they have thankfully left me alone.